Hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
We're really glad that you liked the first pre-med video, so we're back with another one.
Today we're going to be talking about how to find research opportunities.
So we're here to tell you about what type of research we pursue and what advice we have about getting research and finding research that you're interested in.
A lot of people, when they think about research, they think about wet lab research.
And specifically just biology research, but it really doesn't matter what type of research you do.
The ones that we're going to be talking about are wet lab research, so kind of like microbiology research, and the research that I'm kind of doing right now. We're also going to be talking about clinical research, so working with people and more on the public health side. The last type of research we're going to be talking about is social science research, so psychology and like the humanities side.
And don't be scared of humanities if you're pre-med.
Let's first talk about wet lab research. So you have an experience in microbiome that you want to talk about.
Oh yeah, so first I'll talk about my experience in microbiome. So last semester I was in a lab at USC where we looked at
just say like a general thing of what you did.
What did we do?
I feel like I don't even know what we did.
Yeah, we were looking at the effect of different types of particles found in air pollution on the effect of like inflammation in macrophages in the body. So basically my role in that was just doing a lot of pipetting, and I would run like PCRs and stuff like that, but it was so like monotonous and so boring. Realized that like I'm more into like interacting with people, doing public health, and the clinical research study that I'm currently in is like so fun, so great.
So I am currently doing sort of a mix. I'm doing more of like actual wet lab research, but I also get to work with mice. My lab is a cardiothoracic surgery lab. We do LAD ligations on mice, which simulates ischemia or like kind of like a heart attack, and then we study the levels of reactive oxygen species in those mice and how it contributes to recovery and proliferation and all this kind of stuff. I think it's interesting because I get to look at research on a bunch of different levels and thinking about how they all come together.
I'm trying to do clinical research at the hospital next semester. I like the concept of like making an impact with people. Like I understand that microbiome research has that impact, but for me I like interacting with people, seeing their expressions and stuff like that. So that's why like clinical research was more my type of speed, and this summer I'm working in a lab that's looking at the effect of different exercise regimens on type 2 diabetics. I've been really interested in like obesity and diabetes, so this study is really fun and I get to interact with the participants, and it's more like my type, like go to the office and business casual, like that's where I'm at. So
and lastly is social science research, so that's kind of studying human behavior.
Sociology and psychology, so some people have studies on that, like actual studies with human subjects, or there's other times where people are doing more research with like meta-analyses of different studies. We're just including that because as a pre-med, it's a lot of people feel like, oh, they need to just stick with that medicine side with clinical or wet lab, but by all means, if social science research is what you're interested in, pursue that.
I remember my tour guide was talking to us about different research opportunities at Brown, and she said that like her friend was doing research at a lab where they had turkeys run on treadmills, so you will find something that interests you.
For me, when I went into college, like I didn't even think about public health or clinical research because my idea of research was like pipetting, microbiome, lab. So the stuff that I like applied to or that I looked into was only that type of lab, and I wish that I felt more comfortable taking a risk and delving into more like social science based research.
Let's talk about how to actually find a research opportunity. I think it's actually a lot easier than you expect it to be.
Definitely.
You definitely do not need previous experience in high school, and even those people who do have experience in high school,
they won't have a leg up over you. Like don't be intimidated by the fact that you haven't done research, and don't be intimidated by anyone who has done research.
The first way to find a research opportunity is to join an organization, whether it be a pre-med organization or a women in STEM organization, or if you're a racial minority, one that caters to that.
Honestly, like just a club that has a lot of other pre-meds. Like I remember I was in a tutoring club my first semester, and like there were groups of like freshmen and sophomores paired with a junior or senior, and the junior, who was the leader of my group, she was like, if anybody wants to join this lab, like send me an email because I'm about to leave. So just like having those upperclassmen connections, like even that, like they're gonna help you out too.
So how I found my research internship is through an organization called NSP at Brown. Essentially a organization that provides peer mentoring and professional development for traditionally underrepresented groups in STEM. So I had a mentor who's actually one of the presidents of another organization, which was Women in Science and Engineering, that I was also in. She had a friend who was in the exact lab that I wanted to do research at, and she was graduating. So through my mentor, I got to email the girl who's going to graduate, and I was so surprised because I was just asking her like, oh, can you tell me about like how you got your research position and what you do at your lab? She said like, just send me your resume and I'll like show the PI, and I was like, what? And it was something that I wrote about in my college application to Brown, and I never thought I would actually have that opportunity.
You can also just cold email professors, which is how I got my research for my second semester of freshman year. So as I said, I thought microbiome research was the only way to go. So I just looked up biology professors at USC. I looked kind of under like what type of research they did. So I just emailed like 30 professors there, and I was like, hey, this is my major. I'm interested in this stuff. I saw that your research talks about this. Here's my resume. If you have any questions, please email me. And I just cold emailed 30 professors, and like obviously not all of them are gonna reply. Like 2 or 3 did reply, and then out of those that did, I set up like an interview. And then
I think when cold emailing professors, the key is brevity,
yes,
including a resume, demonstrating that you actually read the research and are interested in it and can contribute meaningfully to it.
But I would definitely emphasize the like showing that you read over their research. Like even if it's, I would just include like 2 sentences like, hey, I saw your paper about this and it seems super interesting. This is my interest kind of aligned with yours in this way. Like that's it. If you're just like, hey, I'm a human bio major, I'm out here looking for some research, they're gonna be like, cool, next one, you know? Like you want to set yourself apart somehow.
Yeah. If you want to be really extra like me, I start out my emails by saying, hi, my name is May, I'm blah blah blah, like concentrating in this, interested in this, and then I include like a sentence about their research and what part specifically interested me, and then at the end I say, I have attached my resume and a cover letter, so like read those if you're interested in me. The cover letter is not necessary, but I think it shows like a lot of professionalism. When you're cold emailing professors, don't expect all of them to reply, because
really don't.
Yeah, like out of 10 people, only 2 people replied. If you have any sort of connection at all, if you heard about their research through a different professor, definitely mention their name. If you're already in college, try to scout for potential faculty mentors that you would like to work with. Make sure to go to your professor's office hours. Definitely set up a one-on-one meeting earlier than later and talk about the research in person rather than through email if possible.
One of my friends, he's an econ major, but like he was super try-hard in his econ class, and like at the end of the semester, the professor literally asked him and was like, hey, like I'm starting this new research project or whatever, like do you want to be a part of this? Do you want to intern? And he was like, just because he's a tryhard, so.
At this point of the video, congrats, you probably found a research position. So now we're gonna tell you what to actually expect from a research internship. So before you even start doing research, I think it's really important to have a one-on-one meeting with your research mentor or your PI and talk about what your expectations are from this experience. So being on the same page is really important, and also finding a good mentor is also extremely integral to your growth as a researcher. So if you don't have a mentor that is kind of showing you the ropes and explaining things to you when you have questions, you might want to reconsider. When I first started out doing research, I think I had sort of unrealistic expectations. I naively thought that if I do research, I'm just gonna like write my own huge like paper and publish it, right?
Oh yeah.
But that's definitely not how it works. So when you first start doing research, you spend the first month or a few months just learning the techniques in the lab. After that, you have to take more initiative in either participating in someone in your lab's project or coming up with your own project idea. In addition to being patient, you also have to be proactive. If you feel like you're not doing enough in your lab, you need to make that clear that you feel that way, and think about ways that you could get more involved. So it might not be doing your own project, you could be writing protocols for someone else's project. Research is definitely something where you get out of it what you put into it. Expectation for most research internships is around 10 hours a week. So just keep in mind that if you are going to do research that semester, that you have to make time for that.
The main thing is you need to show initiative, you need to show leadership, and you need to show that you are willing to take risks. Like I'm obviously not a med school admissions officer, but like that's what I think med schools want. So
yeah, I would say even if you are someone who thinks that they're completely not interested in research, being part of a lab is a really great way to build connections.
Also, you're going to be in a space where there's like like-minded people like you, interested probably in pre-med and also in the same like subject, whatever you're researching about. So that's pretty cool too, like people who like the same things that you do. Like, to be honest, when I was like first started off doing just microbiome research, and I was like, I absolutely hate research and everything about it, and I don't know if I want to be pre-med anymore. But then I found like clinical research and I was like, maybe I'll be pre-med.
Like, just give it a shot for a semester and then move on to something else. But also, if you don't like doing research and you've looked at every single area of research possible and you just hate everything about research, then don't do it. So we hope you found this video helpful. We're gonna end with the main takeaways of this video. The first one is,
bio is not the only type of research that exists for pre-meds. There's also clinical and social science.
Yeah, and then second of all, I think don't be intimidated by applying for research positions. Just send out as many emails as you can and hope that someone replies, because chances are they will.
You don't have to say that you're not experienced. Just be like, hey, I'm a freshman, I'm majoring in this, and I'm super interested in your research and want to explore more about this topic. Like, that's all you need to do.
And third of all, try to join programs that provide mentoring. I think making connections with people who are upperclassmen is especially helpful.
Just like join clubs in general.
Yeah, put yourself out there. Yeah. Do things that push you out.
Do things that you never thought you would do. I just want to be inspirational.
I hope this video made you feel a little more pre-med. We'll see you in the next one. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
DM me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Slide into my DMs.
Bye.
Bye. Stay pre-med, my friends.
Do what you love.